Hello DML enjoyer, today we are back as it has been confirmed that the Melvin Dragon will be the new dragon of the month from next month. So this is the Melvin Dragon here, and he is a legendary metal and plant dragon apparently, which is another repeat. But we do have the Melvin character, which is this guy here who's got like a greenish coat and, you know, a white beard and such. But this is him in his dragon form. And so we've got this new video here, and they also state that the elements that we need to use to breed the Melvin Dragon are going to be wind, water, plant, and energy. And the DML planner does show us some of the best combos, but first of all, let us watch this video. This is the Melvin Dragon egg. It's going to hatch into the Melvin Dragon baby, who is kind of a weird one. Like a very weird, he looks a bit too old. He's got his beard growing in already, which is a little bit concerning at that age. But either way, that is baby Melvin, and he grows into adult Melvin Dragon. There he is. It's a weird design overall, I have to say. It's mainly the head. It's like all armor, if that's even all armor. I don't know, it doesn't look like all armor to me. It's just like he's made out of metal of some kind. Looks very different to the actual character. I guess it's based off of his helmet, mainly. That seems to be the main thing they've taken, in his green coat that he's got on. Or vest, I suppose, something like that. But that is Melvin. And like I said, the elements that we're going to need are wind, water, plant, and energy. And of course, it's going to be as part of the Outsiders Doppelganger Dragon Collection. But if we throw these elements into the DML Planner website, because we don't have the dragon in the event dragons yet, we can see a few different combinations that we may end up using. For example, we've got wind and banana, which is a 3-hour, 36-minute average misbreed time with 4 offspring. Honestly, that looks like the best one, but when everything's finalized on here and everything's updated, I'm sure that any issues will be fixerinoed. But wind plus banana is sounding pretty good. Wind, water, plant, and energy. And you know, most people have a banana dragon either because it's useful for the dungeon, it's just one of the energy dragons that ends up getting bred, or energy epic dragons I should say, that ends up getting bred when you're going through the codex stuff. So it's a pretty easy combination to get a hold of. But there is the chance of breeding elixir if you don't have it already. But overall, this looks like a pretty solid combination. So it's probably the one I'll end up using. And you know, if you've got double egg relics and that going, it seems like it's going to be a really good one. But you know, there are other combinations that you can take a look at as well. Like I said, we've got that one. We've got Tempest. We've got a Go Green combination. You know, there's 4 outcomes and 8-hour, 30-minute average misbreed time. So the difference between like combo 1 and 4 is actually pretty big. But either way, that is the newest dragon of the month that is going to be coming to the game. So in terms of that, of course, we've got all of the other NPCs and such that I would expect to be released at some point. Although at this point, we have the first 2 done, and then we're going to have 2 more collections, which means that we've got 6 more NPCs that could possibly be added. And I think that they are holding off on releasing Eliza on purpose, and it makes me sad. But, you know, we may have the other old lady as well. What's her name? We've got the DML characters up here. Because like we've had Hogwin, Ned, we've had all of those really, but like we've got Eliza, she should be coming, Gunhilda, you know, we've got a few different NPCs. It would be cool to see the Whale Mark guy or Li Ming in there as well, to be honest. Just saying, it would be interesting to see them in dragon form, although Sail Whale, also known as Sail Thought, yeah, not everyone's a big fan of her for giving us pay-to-win deals, but Mr. Whale Mart enjoyer over here, yes, I can enjoy some of these wonderful deals at times. Yes, I can. This one is a really good one. Some free divine tickets, basically. We've got some Dragon Fury Essence. That's also okay. The premium sigil chests are not useful. The other stuff is pretty bad. So we ignore that for now. But in terms of DML, the other stuff that I have been trying to do is lucky breeding for Mr. Boxer, because we have not managed to breed him yet. But at 10 breeds, we should be able to get him. Collect luck for every unsuccessful breeding of this limited time dragon. Completely fill your luck meter so your next Dragon of the Week breeding will be a guaranteed success. And honestly, breeding the Dragon of the Week 10 times is super easy, even without VIP, even without double egg relics and second breeding dens. So that should mean a guaranteed Dragon of the Week. And I have to say, these little bonus features like lucky breeding, I think is really good. Because, again, when we are doing events and other things, we do sometimes struggle to actually, you know, get other breeds done. Because it's just, there's such a high requirement for just breeding useless dragons all the time for the events. So, you know, stuff like lucky breeding, hell yes, more of that, implement more of that, and I will be happy, and I'm sure it'll be really, really appreciated by the newer players. You know what else we haven't seen in a while that I'm waiting to hear more on? Ruin jackpots, because how long have we had this in the game where it says, weekly jackpot, coming soon? How soon is soon? Do you mean once every 2 years? Something like that, because it's been a while. It's been a hot minute, and you know, it's just one of those things that genuinely was just like a nice additional thing for players to be able to do, which honestly didn't seem like it would have taken that much, I guess, dev time or anything to actually, you know, just make sure that it's functional. But maybe there was a problem, I don't know. But that hasn't returned. There are a few things like that. The other thing to remember is that we still have Divine Event going on, obviously, and most people are going to be grinding that out. But after this is when I would expect news about the new Pet Influencer event, assuming it's still going ahead, that is, because, you know, we had that changed Primal event with the special dog on the front. It's also on the front title screen, where we know that there's new primals, they're in the game. We just can't see them yet. And they've been talked about the Pet Influencer event, mentioning it. They used it as they're part of the update notes for some people. I think it was if you were on Android and you were updating the game, it would showcase that as part of the update notes. So we know that that is due to be coming, but no other news yet. And it probably is because we are in the middle of the final Divine Fest. So I would say look forward to that information soon, but in the meantime we are going to have new Dragon of the Month during Castle, which means that it's probably going to be a good idea for most people not to be breeding it during that first week, which I'm going to struggle with a lot, because I don't know about you, but I just get so very tempted to breed the Dragon of the Months immediately. Like, the last time I didn't breed a Dragon of the Month on my first attempt was a long time ago. It was not my first attempt, like my first day. I don't remember what I said now. But on that first day, I want to have already bred the Dragon of the Month. That's just sort of my thing. And if it's not bred by the end of the first day, I get a little bit annoyed. I say this, and yet I have actually missed out on Dragons of the Month before, but this was a long time ago. Like, I think the last Dragon of the Month I actually missed was Pixie Dot, and if you remember, that was probably, how many years ago now? 4 years ago? Oh, I don't even remember. It's been a while. It's been a long while. So, yeah, I don't like missing Dragons of the Month. I don't think anyone does, really, but we continue on and hope that it never happens again. If you are a newer player that's got lots of things to breed, you're probably going to struggle a bit more to breed the Dragons of the Month, of course. But if you've got the breeding den free and you've got the hatchery slots, then for the most part, Dragon of the Month breeding is pretty easy. I don't think Dragon of the Month breeding is anything that they need to touch, to be honest. I think it's in a good spot and has been for a long time. I don't care about the Dragon of the Month breeding. It can remain how it is. It's just things like lucky breeding and all that kind of stuff. They do make it a little bit better overall, like just to the general breeding mechanics. I do wish that there was more to breed. I do wish that we had more complexity to the breeding stuff, considering this is supposed to be a breeding game. Yet, pretty much all of our events have nothing to do with actual breeding, apart from just breeding the exact same war dragons 500 million bajillion times. It just gets very boring. But You know, it's also a problem with only having one breeding den available for most people because, you know, that means that if you breed something with like a 16-hour breeding time, that's your entire breeding den done for the whole day. So, you know, it's one of those things that I wish this game would take some pointers from Dragon City. Like, they've been updating the game's breeding stuff quite a lot, to be honest, over time. Whereas this game, it feels like it's... Yeah, we got some UI changes which weren't too bad, like we can see the eggs now without having to like use DML Planner or anything else. But the actual breeding mechanics themselves, they've basically stagnated for like, I would want to say like 4 years as well. Like, it's been a while since we've had any major changes to it, and it's just for like, when you get to my stage in the game, it's like, yeah, there's nothing to actually do. That's why when I actually see a Dragon of the Week like box that I don't have, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a dragon I don't have. I know that that's not going to be the case for most people because, you know, most players don't have as many dragons as I do. The older players probably do, if not more than me, but in terms of the newer players, obviously, you're trying to breed everything and you're going to constantly have stuff to breed, but, you know, I just wish that there was a little bit more for everyone else. You know, I'm just being a bit needy, that's all I can say. I'm going to try and grind out as much of this solo adventure as I can over the weekend, because, you know, during the week I can't log in for this event, so I hate solo events in that regard, because playing on PC when you're out of the house for 12 hours a day, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And then you get home and it's like, what, I'm going to lose sleep just so that I can do some solo event? No, thank you. Absolutely not. I will not do that. We do still have some grinding to do as well, because we do need to get up to 2400, which means that I still need 800 talismans. And, obviously that's going to be a bit of a struggle. A bit of a struggy. Actually, is it 800? Oh my god, I didn't even check. You know what? I did a quick math. I think I may have screwed up, but I'm not even going to double check what my number was. What was it, 1500? Am I suffering from short-term memory loss? No. No. Cope it away. Cope it away, boys. But anyway, this is what happens when I get in, and I'm obviously dying and tired. But either way, we will have more news stuff coming after the Divine event is over and done. And at that point, you know, maybe we'll have some of that new stuff to see, and maybe then I will not complain about stuff for like a week, because then it'll be like, oh my god, cool new stuff. But I have to say, it is refreshing to at least see that they are looking into more, you know, I guess influencer-based stuff. Not because I particularly like it, but just because it's what they used to do. And, you know, I think that that was one of the things that used to bring them quite a lot of new players and a lot of fresh blood, if it makes sense. So that would be interesting to see if that happens this time around, which I imagine it should, depending on who they got in. So that should be a fun event for everyone. Hopefully. I hope they don't make it like overly difficult or anything, because that would really detract from, you know, a new influencer, maybe even charity themed event. So anyway, for now, that is the general DML stuff. We are going into the weekend, so it's time to chillax. It's actually the long weekend here, so super chillax here. But don't forget, new Dragon of the Month incoming, Melvin the boy. So look forward to that soon.